For the first time in the 2024 NFL season, a team has been shut out. It was the New Orleans Saints. And it was just about the worst game ever. It was miserable. I hated every second of it. Not good. Not good, Jim. This team needs to blow it up. This team needs to figure it out. You know, in the live chat during this watch party, people were saying, Trace, what do you want to draft? What position do you want to go sign? What's the first position that you're going to address this offseason? I was like, well, you know, maybe quarterback, maybe, like strong maybe there. But wide receiver for sure. O-line, D-line, linebacker, safety, corner, running back. Am I missing anything? I think our long snapper, our punter, and our kicker are fine. That says anything. I don't know. Like, this is the first game I've been like, yeah, Darren Rizzi, not it. I know I'm wearing a Risma shirt, but not it. Was not it. Clint Kubiak, offensive play calling, not good. Joe Woods, defensive coordinator, terrible. I mean, horrible. And it goes without saying that this game sucked. This game was just about the worst thing I've ever had to watch. And to be totally honest, last time I checked, if you go back into like the Bill of Rights or like the Declaration of Independence or whatever it is, I'm pretty sure cruel and unusual punishment is illegal. I'm pretty sure the government outlawed that. I'm pretty sure it's to protect people from having to watch this because this was bad. It was horrible. And to be honest, there is not a single redeeming quality in this game. There's not even – I'm somebody who prides myself in finding a silver lining in any situation. Doesn't matter how bad it is. I am always somebody who can find a silver lining. Not in this one. Not today. We'll talk about Spencer Rattler. We'll talk about everything that happened here today. But I got to ask you this question before we even get started. What's the biggest need for the offseason for the Saints? What's the biggest need this offseason? Because it's an important one. In my opinion, this might be the most important offseason in my recent memory for the New Orleans Saints. Like, I just cannot sit here and think of a single offseason that was more important. You have to get a new head coach, possibly a new quarterback. You pretty much need to revamp the entire roster. So what's the biggest need? In the live poll at our watch party, 409 votes, 60% of those people are saying quarterback, 19% say offensive line, 12% say wide receiver, and 10% say D-line. I would say probably I'm a little bit higher on wide receiver than quarterback. I think wide receiver is a massive need for very obvious reasons, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But God bless it. We need some help. And, I mean, look, the stats, they're disgusting. They're horrible. I mean, early in the game, the Saints just couldn't hold the ball. They had 9 plays ran by the time the second quarter got started. It was bad. And on top of that, not only were they bad when they were trying to play, they were bad before the snap and during the snap and after the snap, which led to a lot of penalties and a lot of yardage and penalties. Third down was bad. And again, nothing was good. And, like, let's talk Spencer Rattler here because it's a hard read here. It's a really hard read. Because in my personal opinion, you had yet another game that Spencer Rattler played, all 4 quarters, or hell, even 2 quarters. You had another game where Spencer Rattler got some run. And nothing about it was very redeeming. Let me rephrase. There's a few good throws. There's a few crazy throws. Like, at the beginning, he threw a dot to Foster Moreau. And then again, later in the game, he was moving up in the pocket, did like this jump, threw it across his body and connected. I mean, that was pretty cool. The jump throw, the very next play, threw an interception. Like, it's just a tough read for Rattler. Like, again, he was not good. He was not good. But how are you supposed to be good when Erik McCoy leaves the game in the first quarter with an elbow injury and doesn't return? How are you supposed to play good when your leading receivers were in the UFL last year? How are you supposed to be good when you have no help around you? Like, I encourage any quarterback in the National Football League, or college for that matter, to try and succeed in this situation. And if you're at home saying Spencer Rattler sucks and you think you could do a whole hell of a lot better, I encourage you, grab a helmet, grab some pads, show up to Airline Drive, show up to the guys in the suits and ties, say, hey, you don't even have to pay me. I'll just be a better quarterback than Spencer Rattler. This doesn't mean Jake Haener should ever get – that doesn't mean he should get the start. Jake Haener conversation is done for me. The rest of the season, to me, is the Spencer Rattler show, no matter how good or bad it is, because you have to see what you have in him. You have to see if he can be anything. And if we continue this porous play in this horrible situation that is the New Orleans Saints offense, the New Orleans Saints team as a whole, you go and draft a quarterback in the future. Like, you have to figure out what you have in him. There's no point in trying to get a spark in the offense. There's no point in trying to change things up. We saw what Haener did. And we saw what Rattler did in the exact same game against the Washington Commanders last week. Rattler's the better quarterback. I don't know what it's to say about either of them. They're both not that great. The fact that Derek Carr is the best quarterback on the roster is pretty frustrating. And it sucks because he's hurt and he's been hurt all season. Not all season, but for good chunks of it. And the other big thing for me is that, it's another wasted opportunity to learn what you had in Spencer Rattler. Because he didn't have anybody to throw the ball to. The O-line was horrendous. You just don't get a good read on him. It's just another wasted opportunity for a good read. So, guys, I've mentioned it before, and I'll mention it again. This is going to be the most important offseason for the New Orleans Saints. I know that Mickey Loomis has said they're not going to blow it up. They need to. They need to just start from scratch. Trade away some of those expensive contracts. Cut and get some of those guys that you love that are fan favorites. Get them to retire. Like, it's not worth it. It's not working. You're 5-10. You had the best offense and the best defense in the league those first 2 weeks. We're done here. It's time to blow it up. And if you think the Saints suck, subscribe if you agree with me, because they do. And then on top of that, we're going to be live through the draft. We're going to be live through free agency. I'm going to be out at the Combine doing coverage around the New Orleans Saints and for this channel. And on top of that, we're going to be giving you live shows and videos all throughout the offseason. So be sure to tune in and hit the sub button. Really quick, before we continue on with this post-game show, we got to give a big-time shout-out to Prize Picks for sponsoring the program. You can make your holidays bigger and brighter with Prize Picks. It's the best place to get real money action while watching your favorite sports, and you can now win up to 1,000 times your cash on Prize Picks through Pickmas. If you use our code CLNS when you download the Prize Picks app, you'll get $50 instantly when you play $5. And you can check out the picks that I went with in today's game. I did not make money. I did get the Jordan Love passing number correct because he was benched in the fourth quarter. So we got that one right. I was only about 25 yards shy of Spencer Rattler on that one hitting. That one was kind of heartbreaking. And then for some reason, I don't know why Kendre Miller just didn't get more run. He started off hot. He started off with a couple good carries and then finished the game with only 4 carries for 16 yards. So, yeah, did not make money today. However, I still had a lot of fun, and I still am able to get a $50 bonus because I put a $5 lineup in when I use code CLNS. So download the Prize Picks app today. Use code CLNS. You'll get $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS when you download the Prize Picks app today to get $50 on your first $5 lineup. Shout out to Prize Picks. Run your game. Now, Kendre Miller, like I mentioned, we didn't really get to see a lot from him. It was very limited. 8 carries for 15 yards, not good. He had a long of 10. Like, I just don't know why they never went back to him. I don't know if there was an injury. I don't know if there was a personnel decision. Early on, there was talk that the Saints were going to go running back by committee here. It was nice to see Jamal Williams get some run. He wasn't very effective, but just to throw him into the mix and try and do something. 3 carries for 8 yards, nothing really to run home about. But, Foster Moreau, the bright spot of the offense today. 2 receptions, 33 yards. He had a couple big-time catches. He had a couple catches get wiped away because of penalties and whatnot. And, yeah, it was just not good. So I do have this update around quarterback Spencer Rattler. He's talking to media as we're filming this post-game show. Quote, "It's just an embarrassing loss. I put it on myself. Played not good at all in my opinion. didn't have any answers, needed to make more plays and protect the ball. Yep, I agree. Like, everything about that I agree with. You put it on him, put it on the defense, put it on the play calling. Everyone's to blame here. Jordan Love did have a really good game today. 182 yards, 16 to 28 today. It was pretty good. I was impressed with Jordan Love. He's a good quarterback, and he's proof when you have a good coach and you let your quarterback sit and cook in the oven a little bit, maybe a little too long. It's all right if it comes out a little well done. It's all right if it comes out a little extra crispy. It's all right if it comes out a little bit better than how you would originally want it to look. So, Jordan Love had a great day, but good God, Josh Jacobs was gashing this team. And it wasn't even just Josh Jacobs. Emmanuel Wilson also went crazy. I mean, this was a hard game to watch. And the Saints' run defense coming in today was terrible. It's always been a problem for the past, 2-3 seasons now at this point. Josh Jacobs is not the guy that he was on the Raiders last year. He is a much better running back nowadays. 6th game in a row, I believe it was, with a rushing touchdown, which is the longest streak of his career. He had a phenomenal day. Jayden Reed, 3 receptions, 76 yards. He was really effective as well. Worth noting for Christian Watson, he left the game with an injury, did not return to the game. So if you're watching this from a Packers perspective, obviously we are Saints fans on the channel, but wanted to inform you guys as well. Christian Watson had a couple targets, a couple opportunities to make a play. Nothing really happened with him. But yeah, I mean, we've talked about the quarterbacks. We've talked about Spencer Rattler. We've talked about Jake Kane. We've talked about Kendre Miller. I guess the best way to wrap this show up is, do you believe in Spencer Rattler? Just give me a B for believe or a D for don't. Let me know. Let me know. And also, I see somebody in the chat saying extra crispy is wild. Dude, it's a metaphor. When you overcook something, it's called well done. I worked in restaurants for 5 years of my life. Can you blame me? No. I mean, I would believe it. I still have some. I don't know if I believe. I think I have faith. Because I've seen moments and I've seen flashes. But I need to see him sit and marinate and grow, get a little bit better. I want to see him get a little bit more polished off. And on top of that, I also think that this team is they just need a quarterback. Archie Manning in 2027 is going to be awesome. I don't think he's coming out in 2026. I think he's going to stay an extra year. Archie Manning in the New Orleans Saints uniform in 2027 is going to rock. Really quick, if you guys haven't already, I highly encourage you to hit me up on social media. Give me a follow on X, Instagram, or TikTok. I post on all 3 platforms. I post videos almost every day on all 3 platforms. I post a lot of content on definitely Instagram and TikTok specifically, or Instagram and X specifically. TikTok, I also throw a lot of content up there. So if you guys want more coverage, I highly encourage you to subscribe to the channel. Y'all stay golden. Thank you for suffering through the season with me. Thank you for watching the program. And, till next time, y'all stay golden. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. We'll see you guys next time.